morning. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and a Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. Lacson questioned the proposed 180 million peso lump sum allocation for evacuation centers in each of the 17 regions, totaling over 3 billion pesos, saying the funds lacked specific locations and other key details. The Ombudsman flagged Senator Loren Legarda's repeated medical leave and Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste's extended overseas travel as suspicious, amid an ongoing plunder and graft investigation involving the two lawmakers. Residents of Barangay Tatalon, Quezon City evacuated through chest-deep flood waters that rose to nearly 8 feet, weeks after President Marcos touted a drainage project as protection against flooding. Baguio Mayor Benjamin Magalong rejected claims that solid waste management is inherently corrupt, saying the city's garbage collection operates under strict oversight to prevent graft. U.S. sanctions on top members of the International Criminal Court undermine the rule of law, the court said in a statement on Tuesday after Washington imposed measures on its president. ABS-CBN Corporation has extended its financial lifelines as the once dominant broadcaster continues efforts to repair its debt-laden balance sheet. Pokwang and Ruby Ruiz shared the Best Performance of a Leading Actress Award at the 22nd Cinemalaya Philippine Independent Film Festival for their performances in Two Valid IDs and Status Rejected, respectively. Farm First seeks to rebuild momentum heading into the regular season by finishing the 2026 Premier Volleyball League on Tour Showdown strong. Today is the 19th of August 2026, Wednesday, and I'm Eliana Lacap bringing you today's top stories. Let's kick things off with today's weather. Tropical Depression Nenyang has slightly intensified and is now 675 kilometers east of Itbayat, Batanes, packing up winds of 55 kilometers per hour and gusts up to 70 kilometers per hour. It is moving northwestward at 15 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon or the Habagat will bring cloudy skies and rains over Luzon, Antique, and Aklan. Mindanao and the rest of the Visayas may experience isolated thunderstorms. Moderate to strong winds and moderate to rough seas are expected over northern and western Luzon. Now for a traffic update. Light traffic is reported along both the southbound and northbound lanes of NLEX, including Balintawak, Cloverleaf, Valenzuela Interchange, Maykawayan, Bukawe, Tulaok, and San Simon. In the southbound direction, the rightmost lane at Tulaok and San Simon is closed due to water buildup, although the affected areas remain passable to all vehicles. Northbound at San Simon, water has subsided with clearing ongoing on the rightmost lane. Meanwhile, C3 intersection and NLEX connector España are also passable to all vehicles with light traffic. Now let's move on to this morning's headlines. Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson questioned a proposed 3 billion plus peso allocation for the evacuation centers in the 2027 national budget, citing a uniform 180 million peso lump sum allocation for each of the country's 17 regions. Lacson said his initial review of the National Expenditure Program found no details on where the evacuation centers would be built, raising concerns that the projects may not have been properly assessed. He warned that funds could potentially become an election or campaign budget ahead of the 2028 elections. The issue comes amid continued scrutiny of government infrastructure spending following the flood control corruption scandal. Though the Office of the Ombudsman said it was suspicious of the continued overseas travel of Senator Loren Legarda and Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste, amid an ongoing probe into plunder and graft allegations. Assistant Ombudsman Mico Clavano said Leviste secured a travel authority from July 26 to September 24, covering several countries, while Legarda was reportedly on her third or fourth extension for medical reasons. Calvano said the trips raised concerns as the lawmakers have yet to address the allegations. The case involves solar companies linked to Leviste and unfinished contracts reportedly worth over 10.44 billion pesos. Legardo denied the allegations as business, while Leviste has yet to comment. Now, residents of Barangay Tatalon, Quezon City were forced to evacuate through chest-deep floodwaters Monday after the San Juan River overflowed, with water rising to nearly 8 feet amid heavy habagat rains. The flooding came less than 2 months after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. inspected the 482.5 million peso G. Araneta drainage improvement project and said residents would no longer have to worry about flooding. DPWH Secretary Vincent Dizon said the river lacks sufficient capacity and proposed an upstream detention basin, while dredging and pumping continue. By Tuesday, 308 families or 1,045 people were staying in 4 evacuation centers. The Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong rejected claims that solid waste management is inherently corrupt among local governments, saying the city's garbage collection operates under strict oversight and does not allow kickbacks. Responding to Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla, Magalong said corruption exists in some areas but cited Baguio and Pasig as cities that avoid such practices. He said illegal cuts in some waste transactions can reach 27 to 30%, recalling an offer of a 6% cut. Baguio generates around 550 tons of waste daily, with up to 250 tons of residual waste hauled to landfills outside the city. Magalong also led clearing operations after a deadly landslide in Barangay Gisad, Surong. The International Criminal Court said U.S. sanctions against its officials undermine the rule of law after Washington sanctioned ICC President Tomoko Akane and senior trial lawyer Abudale Seye. The court said targeting judges, prosecutors, and staff for carrying out their mandate puts the international legal order at risk. It stressed, however, that it remains undeterred and committed to protecting its personnel and supporting the victims of atrocities. The United States, which is not an ICC member, has previously sanctioned other court officials, restricting their U.S. entry and access to the financial system. Washington's sanctions are largely linked to ICC investigations involving Israel, including its 2024 arrest warrant for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over the Gaza war. Now, ABS-CBN Corporation has extended the maturities of 2 major loans as the broadcaster works to stabilize the debt-laden finances. Its 5 billion peso BPI loan was extended to August 31, 2026, while its 4.75 billion peso Union Bank loan was extended to September 30th. The company said the extensions include changes to interest rates and collateral requirements as it negotiates longer-term refinancing. ABS-CBN reported a 1.83 billion net loss in the first half of 2026, more than double the previous year, while revenues fell to 17% to 6.88 billion pesos. The company is also set to receive around 6 billion pesos in fresh capital through new shares, including a 3.5 billion peso investment from INC Holdings Corporation. Now, Poc Wang and Ruby Ruiz shared the Best Performance of a Leading Actress Award at the 22nd Cinemalaya Philippine Independent Film Festival. Poc Wang, whose real name is Marieta Subong, won for 2 valid IDs, playing a struggling farmer whose remittance claim is complicated by her lack of valid identification. Ruiz was recognized for status rejected, portraying a 69-year-old woman repeatedly denied a U.S. visa while trying to reunite with her son. Mag-iina won Best Full-Length Feature, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. Martin Del Rosario took Best Leading Actor, while 2 valid IDs also won the Audience Choice and Special Jury Prize. Status Rejected received the NETPAC Award. Now, Farm Fresh is looking to carry its winning momentum into the 2026 to 2027 PVL Invitational Conference as it closes its on-tour showdown campaign against Capital One and Victoria City Negros Occidental on Saturday. The Foxies improved to 1-1 after sweeping Annex Lud 25-23, 25-13, and 25-22, led by Trisha Tubu and Royce Tubino. After bouncing back from a 4-set loss to Galleries Tower, Farm Fresh hopes to sustain its improved chemistry and confidence against a Capital One squad without key players Bella Belen, Erica Santos, and Vanny Gandler. The Foxies will join defending champion PLDT, Creamline, Annex Lud, and 2 foreign guest teams in the Invitational starting August 31st. Now, a quick look at today's horoscope. Today brings positive developments, Taurus. Your financial situation may improve with the possibility of a salary increase, while good news could arrive through a phone call. After a long period of seeking peace and reassurance, you may finally find the solace you've been waiting for. Your health remains stable, making this a good day to focus on your personal life. Spend quality time with your friends and family to strengthen your relationships and enjoy the positive energy surrounding you. Now, Tribune, did you know on August 19, 1878, Manuel Luis Quezon, the second president of the Philippines and the first president of the Commonwealth, was born in Baler, Tayabas, now Aurora. Quezon studied at Colegio de San Juan de Letran and later earned his law degree from the University of Santo Tomas, passing the bar in 1903. He entered politics as the governor of Tayabas and then became an assemblyman, resident commissioner in the United States, and then the first Senate president. As Commonwealth President in 1935, Quezon pushed for Philippine independence, social justice, national defense, women's suffrage, and a national language. He also opened the Philippines to Jewish refugees fleeing Nazi persecution. When World War II reached the Philippines, Quezon established a government in exile in the United States, continuing to advocate for Philippine independence despite his failing health. He died of tuberculosis on August 1st of 1944 in New York, a month before the liberation of the Philippines. Today, he is remembered as the father of the national language and the father of social justice. Now, this morning's viral comes from a TikTok video that has racked up 1.5 million views, featuring a rather clever and hilarious way of getting through flooded waters. Instead of simply wading through the flood, this woman came up with a creative solution that has netizens cracking up. Comments poured in, including na para bang siya si kamahalan and naka-add to cart si ate, among many other funny reactions. Curious how she managed to get through the flood? Let's watch this.
Go. Add to cart. Go. Add to cart. Go. Add to cart.
And that's all for now, mga katribu. Join us again at 1 o'clock p.m. for more updates. This has been Eliana Lacap for Tribune News on Q.